Welcome, friends. This is Under the Arch Sports, back after a few weeks of absence. I'm Eric, and today we're going to talk about the dumpster fire that is the St. Louis Cardinals. Before we get into that, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and find us on Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, and the Cardinals just are a dumpster fire. There's no nice way to say it. During June, they've been absolute garbage. You know how Cardinals fans usually look down on teams like the Pirates or the Royals in Kansas City, the Orioles for a lot of years. That's how Major League Baseball is looking at the Cardinals the last month. And it's weird, but they deserve it. They are playing terrible as a team. First, let's talk pitching. Pitching, there, to an extent, it's understandable. Dakota Hudson out for the season. We knew that going in. So the Cardinals had some time to work around that, but it still hurts. Jack Flaherty missing extended time. We'll see when he's back later in the summer, August timeframe, I guess. We'll see. Miles Mikolas, one start and he's out. And frankly, I will believe that he's going to start another game this season when I see him go out there. That's just my personal opinion on that one. After that, it's... Adam Wainwright is doing okay. You'd love to see him do better, but how much more is it fair to expect out of him? He didn't come back to be the number one starter on this team, all right? He came back to be a solid third, fourth, fifth guy in the rotation. And I think he's done that job. He's been fine for that role. Then, Kwang Han Kim, KK is started off fairly decent. And then, spent some time on the IL. And since he came back, he's just been terrible. Then, John Gant. Up until a month ago, it was an adventure, but he was effective. He'd walk guys and bases loaded situations and all that. It's caught up with him is what's going on. And that fall-off's been fairly dramatic, and he's out of the rotation. So that is really hurting. Then Carlos Martinez. What do you do? This is 8-9 years of Carlos Martinez. Oh, he's got the stuff. If he can just put it together. No. I am done with Carlos Martinez. I don't know why John Gant is pulled out of the bullpen after 3 or 4 bad starts when Carlos Martinez has had 3 or 4 starts all season that weren't that bad. Carlos Martinez is not a major league starter. I don't know why. Well, yes, I do. I'll tell you why he's still in the starting rotation. That's because money. Yeah, get ready for this, Cardinal fans. In 2022 and 2023, the St. Louis Cardinals owe Carlos Martinez a combined $35 million. That is going to be the new contract issue instead of the Matt Carpenter contract issue, where everyone's pissed off about how much money he's getting paid. That is highway robbery. Because Carlos Martinez is complete garbage. I question if he could be a long inning relief guy at this point. He just doesn't have it. And it's the same issue it's always been. As soon as a runner gets on base, oh no, here we go again. And all of a sudden he can't pitch to save his life. When a guy has that same just issue with his mindset and attitude for the better part of a decade, it's time to cut bait, let him go. But the Cardinals front office and all their brilliance have him for another 2 years. Speaking of brilliance, let's move on to the Cardinals hitting. The Cardinals, they do not have a single starter, batting as high as 270. They don't have one. That's unbelievable. Nolan Arenado is the only player batting over 265. The Cardinals have 5 players batting as high as 250. That's comical. It's so bad. I didn't know Major League teams could have numbers that terrible. As a team, the St. Louis Cardinals team stats are just mind-bogglingly bad. They are tied for third to worst in 3 different categories of the major statistics. Yeah, tied for third isn't weird. They're tied for third to worst in all of Major League Baseball in batting average, on-base percentage, and OPS. They're slightly better in slugging percentage at 5th worst. That is terrible. And I think it is an absolute indictment of Jeff Albert. I was ready for him to be fired at the end of 2020. Yeah, I think everybody thought, oh, Nolan Arenado's coming in. That's his bat instead of Carpenter at third base. It's protection for Goldschmidt. No, it has not worked out that way. Goldschmidt is batting worse. And frankly, this is in the second full season that he's been with the Cardinals, not counting 2020. His batting average is much lower than what he had in Arizona. Even Nolan Arenado's batting average is worse. And it's not a Coors Field effect. He's still on pace for 30 home runs and 100 RBIs. The power numbers are there. The average is like 30 points lower than his past 4 seasons average in Colorado. This is Jeff Albert's fault. When it's the entire lineup over multiple seasons, what else can it be? There's no other explanation that Jeff Albert has to go. He's got to go. The Cardinals have taken this approach where they're investing all sorts of time and energy and resources into Jeff Albert's ridiculous hitting philosophy and implementing it throughout the entire franchise and system. It's a failure. It has failed. The Cardinals are sitting at 37-41 in a garbage division. Looking at the NL Central, Cubs and Brewers are about where you thought they'd be. Well, the Brewers have a pretty solid record. The Cubs are 3 games back. That makes sense. You expect that. The Reds are in 3rd place, 6 games back. And the Cardinals are 8 games back, under 500, just about halfway through the season. That is mind-blowing. It is, for at least a half a season, it is as big of a disaster when you compare results based on preseason expectations as I've seen since I've started watching Cardinal baseball as a kid. There's no other way around it. The Cardinals, if they want to even be in contention for the NL Central, and that's the only way they're getting into the playoffs, is winning the division. The NL West is taking both wild cards. Let's make no mistake. The only way they are in contention for the division is, yes, they have to get healthy, but Harrison Bader was still batting .219 when he went on the IL. Paul DeJong is just a disaster. And, regardless of how much time he's batting under 200. They have to get healthy. But they also have got to make some moves. The fact that they haven't made any moves is frightening to me. It reeks of just arrogance and just there's a strange sense of self-confidence in the front office. They have fallen in love with themselves and the Cardinal way of, we'll bring up this AAA guy and he'll be awesome. Because it happened for a while, and it did work out that way. So now I think they have that expectation that it's going to happen. I think the Cardinals front office expects Wade LeBlanc, the new starter, taking John Gant's spot. I think they fully expect him to go out there and, be Fernando Valenzuela in 1981. which is ridiculous. But I truly think they have some sort of, oh, he's going to come in and it's going to be magic. Which, if that's what you're hoping for and basing your decisions on, is grounds for termination for, well, a lot of people, but specifically John Mozeliak. I have lost almost all confidence in him. You know, fleecing the Colorado Rockies in the Arenado deal doesn't make you good. It makes them idiots. And I think we're seeing John Mozeliak in over his head, trying to figure out how to fix this team. That's all I've got on the Cardinals for now. Like I said, it's good to be back doing these videos. I'll have some more on Mizzou. They've made some moves in recruiting over the last month. Yeah, keep it locked in here for everything St. Louis sports. See you guys next time.